So here at the end of your Kodiak career, I'll return to the start of your 9th grade year. We began with a book, do you remember? I wonder. From hiding, Rushdie asked us to ponder. What good are stories that aren't even true? What good indeed? Yes, I ask this of you. What good is fiction with its symbols, its lies? If it's all just made up, why bother your eyes with these words, words, words all over the pages? Why do these words survive through the ages? Why not just learn facts like head, abdomen, thorax? Why bother at all with the words of the Lorax, who speaks for the trees have no voice? Why bother to read when given the choice? As a teacher of English, I have, you can bet, considered these questions for decades, and yet the answers keep changing as life changes me, because my life and yours are all stories, you see. Not that I mean that our lives are not true, but fiction and life intersect. Yes, they do. Adventurous stories may thrill you with capers, involving encounters with tigers and tapirs, with pirates and bandits and villainous crews. What do all these bad boys mean to you? Do they model the battle between evil and good? Do they blur those same lines, like in Robin Hood? Do adventure tales give us ways vicarious to learn about justice over forces nefarious? What good does it do us to read of Odysseus? In our age of technology, our schedule's the busiest. Can his patience and bravery to get to his home inspire our passions for journeys of our own? What good are stories of fantasy and magic when so much of our news is drastic and tragic? They help us escape. They're addictive. They're fun. From Harry Potter to Twilight, bet you can't read just one. But aside from the fun, this genre reminds us never to put optimism behind us. And what's up with this genre called science fiction, with its spaceships and planets and high-tech diction? These dreams of droids and fancy space stations feed our humanoid gift, the imagination. Good science fiction can show us a future of machines, possibilities, dreams we should nurture. Or sci-fi can warn us with chilling dystopias to help us see past our present myopia. It paints a grim picture of where we might go if we don't take care in the ways we could grow. Now, satirical novels are powerful tools for our education beyond lessons in schools. We laugh at their humor, but they too give us pause. They're powerful critiques of society's flaws. People may laugh at their ways hypocritical, but changes may follow, social and/or political. Historical fiction draws us into the past in a way more personal than history class. Textbooks have battles, great men, names, dates, years, but novels have characters with hopes, dreams, and fears. Some stories are windows to read about lands unknown to us here, and thus we expand our sense of the world and to our place in it. We can enter new countries in just a short minute. But why do it through fiction, through paperbacks? Why not just read Newsweek or Google the facts? The papers may tell us of war in Kabul, but the kite runner gives us a much different tool to learn about friendships, growing up without moms, in a proud, learned culture, not one ravaged by bombs. A story of jealousy, how it tears us apart. Its setting is foreign, its themes close to our heart. Because stories are windows, but good mirrors too. They make us consider just what would we do. To paraphrase Auden, we don't read a good book reads us, makes us take a hard look. Would I have the strength of Hawthorne's Hester? Or like Dimsdale, would I let my cowardice fester? Can I speak my beliefs, though I risk persecution? And if I am wronged, Can I grant absolution? How would I respond when confronted like Huck with the choice of betraying Jim, who is stuck as a slave on the run, or protecting his friend and seeing their river trip through to the end? Stories, they ask us to ponder our morals. They warn us we must not just rest on our laurels. They give us a gauge with which we can measure our commitment to people we love versus treasures. And let's not forget that good books are just fun. Curl up on your couch and read a good one. Now, the way that we talked about novels in class has given you each a looking glass to examine your own life as you create it, and serve as a model if you care to relate it. Plot, setting, symbols, character, theme are not so abstract as at first they might seem. Let's take, for example, this notion of plot. Without it, a story is nowhere. It's not. As students of literature, you also know that a novel's plot structure determines its flow, but that doesn't mean it must be chronological. Many great novels use time frames quite magical. Morrison, Marquez, and others shift time, make it circular, warped, not just linear lines. So too can you make your life story plot vary. Though I'd recommend waiting a bit until you marry. You're all off to college, or so we all think. But a 4-year degree is not indelible ink. You may find your path takes some twists and some turns. Or your perfect school isn't perfect, you learn. Perhaps you will wander in lands far away and return sometime later, and well, that's okay. Not every career requires a degree, and degrees do not guarantee jobs, you will see. But that shouldn't stop you from giving your all to whatever classes you take in the fall. Dig in, ask around, who's the very best prof? Take solar engineers or engineering or the plays of Chekhov. I hope that you'll study abroad if you can. Europe, the East, maybe one of the stands. In high school, you learned about angles congruent. A semester abroad can help make you fluent. Your life story setting will vary, I hope, and the more language you speak, the better you'll cope. And after you finish your, quote, education, become your own author. Stop taking dictation. Take out your compass, chart a course around the world, and head out on the sea with your sails unfurled. But what else in our lives besides plot is like fiction? We're drawn to strong characters, ones with conviction. You too are a character, protagonist, star. Choose who you want to be, set your own bar. Your parents and teachers have all done their best to help build your character. Now you're leaving the nest. You've already shown us your many fine traits on ECSs abroad and those here in the States. Your kindness, compassion, desire to do good, from storm-torn New Orleans to your own neighborhood. Your strength, your leadership, above average smarts, your incredible talent in all of the arts. There is no doubt your adventure is well on its way. We're excited to see what comes after today. What kind of a character will each of you be? How many settings will your life story see? What course of action will your life take, or not? How will you construct your own unique plot? So at last, we consider the notion of theme. And here let me quote the late Dr. King, who said, "Life's central question isn't what do I earn, but what am I doing for others? It's concern for how you will honor the stories of others, allow each to flourish, each sisters, each brothers. How will you care for this setting, our earth? And how, besides money, will you define worth? There's really no limit to what you can do. Go write your own story, the one right for you. So be on your way, and until our next meeting, take good care of your story and never stop reading."